Hello, hockey fans. This is Dan Rusanowski. You're watching Bay Area Sports Wrap.
How well do you know Will or Macklin? Do you know either of them?
I've spoken to Will already.
Okay.
Obviously, I've watched him play. Watched Macklin, live. Well, not live, but through video. This past season, I'll watch some more of him as this progresses here through the draft. But Will and I had a really good conversation, and I'm back in Massachusetts in the off season, so isn't he. So we're gonna try to catch up in person too. So it'll be good.
So you didn't know him beforehand?
Just met him last year at the draft. That's
okay, I see. So do you have any sense of, I guess, you can't give away your entire conversation, just like his role next year, what you're kind of anticipating for him?
We did not even get into roles. We didn't talk about hockey at all. It's me trying to find out what type of person he is, how he is as a human being. We'll get into hockey in the coming months. I don't need to talk about hockey in June with him. I need to get to know me. I need to get to know him and develop that relationship.
What can you say about what's it like relating with the TikTok generation?
Yeah, it's interesting and it's real, right? It's everything's at your snap of your fingers. Instagram, social media. These players have a lot of pressure on them. We need to understand that as a coaching staff. I need to understand that, and I do. So it's important that we do. There's a lot of likes out there. There's retweets and all those things that are real, and there's pressures from the outside that we got to keep these kids in the right frame of mind and kind of ignore that noise at times. But it's something that they're going to go through, and we're going to go through together.
You mentioned that pressure. No slight to San Jose as a market, but it's not a Toronto. There's 50 media members out there for a guy. I mean, you guys are quarterback for a guy like McIntyre, even Will Smith coming in. Do you almost use that as maybe not necessarily an advantage, but it's almost like a different way of thinking when trying to lock out pressure and not be part of it?
Yeah, maybe a little bit. Obviously, there's different markets, and he's still going to have a target on his back, as number 1 overall pick. So we just need to protect him a little bit and make sure. And that doesn't mean on the ice. That means off the ice, and we got to make sure he has a good support system, which it seems like he has a really good family at home, and same with Will and the rest of our players. So it is what it is. It's a National Hockey League. There's pressures everywhere. There's noise from the outside that we have to make sure these guys stay grounded.
Have you seen or been a part or even witnessed? I've never seen a team be so outward that they're going to pick a certain guy number 1. Obviously, there's always they know but there's just that emphasis of we're picking back on something. Does it almost kind of give you guys more time to prep, even though it's more outward, or just bring more excitement to the fan base? How do you feel that's
that's probably a question for Mike and Jonathan. And I'm just focused on getting a plan in place of our staff, how we want to play, and then obviously the individuals are important, but we got to play as a team. We got to be together. Whether that's Macklin, Will, Matt Benning. We got to start playing as a team a little bit and understanding that there's a common goal to progress this franchise.
Is there an excitement for you to work with not just the defense but now the offense as well? Just the whole team is a different viewpoint, whereas you're the main guy to go to. And is there just kind of a little bit of excitement, like here's my chance sort of thing?
Yeah, a little bit. Again, like Shane asked, I've been through this. I've gone from being the D coach to being the head coach, and I've understand I'm working with the forwards a little bit more. I'm probably a lot more hands-on than some coaches in the National Hockey League, because I'm obviously a little bit younger, and I want to be on the ice. I want to develop. I want to help pull guys aside and work with them. I'm excited about that. That's why I love this job.
Have you spoken with Church?
Yes, I've talked to Logan a few times since this has happened, and really good conversations. Nothing hockey, just checking in, see how his family's doing, see how he's doing, and he's been great. Like Mike said, he is a great captain first and foremost. He's a great person. He's a big part of this franchise.
Is he still optimistic he'll be able to go start a camp here?
Yeah, I'm not gonna. We didn't even talk about health. We're not gonna worry about that later.
How important it would be, you saw when he was in the lineup, what a difference he made.
Yeah.
What kind of impact do you think if you could have your captain in your lineup here to start?
Yeah, it would be awesome, right? He's. I grew up in Boston watching Patrice Bergeron. He is Patrice Bergeron on the West Coast. The way he plays, the way he prepares, the way he leads this group. He's an addition to the coaching staff in ways. He sees the game really, really bright. I told him when he's done playing, I'd love to see him be on the bench coaching. I don't know if he'll do it, but I think he's got a great mind for the game, and I'm happy he's with us.
I know you mentioned you don't want to get into specifics, but this D-core, a lot of guys are coming back. They're all signed for next year. How does it evolve a little bit? How does it sort of take a next step so you're not at home here giving up 10 goals, 9 goals, that kind of thing?
Yeah, I mean, obviously Michael, I'm sure will go through the draft and free agency, and there'll be some periods to adjust the hockey club, and that's not really my job. My job is to get the team prepared, and whoever we have, we're going to work with them to make them the best version of themselves. And I think there's times where we could be a lot better than we were last year with our system, with individual play. It was a tough year last year, and that's I take accountability of that too. But there'll be some changes I think will help correct those mistakes.
Mark Vlasic, he's about the same age, right? I mean,
Yeah, he's older than me.
yeah. How do you kind of continue to sort of get the most out of him here?
Going forward? Me and Mark have a really good relationship. We never talk about who's older and when. Like it just does. It's a mute point in our minds. He's a really good defenseman. Was a really good defenseman for a long time. I'm looking forward to working with him. I thought he had moments last year where he was really good. He was back to being a steady, shutdown defenseman with a good stick. We need that. We need the best version of Mark to help our hockey club. I thought he really stepped up as a leader last year. Off the ice. I thought his personality came out more than I've seen in 2 years and what I've been told since before I got here. So we need that. We need more of that from him, and he'll know that in our conversations throughout the summer.
You mentioned the names, the coaches you've worked with before. Do you take a little bit of each guy's style and incorporate it into your own? Who's maybe the biggest coach?
Yeah, I think you're right. I think I've taken a little bit of everything from everyone. My own assistant coaches. I'm just going to try to learn to get better every single day. I ask my players to get better every single day. We step in a video session, let's try to get better. We go on the ice, let's try to get better. And I'm going to try to do that. I don't know all the answers. I got to start learning. I'm going to start reaching out and talking to some other coaches throughout the league and picking their brains. But Spencer Carberry was a big influence. He's one of my best friends. We talk almost every day. What he did in Washington doesn't surprise me, making the playoffs, because how good of a coach he is. So there's been a lot of influences in my career that I've taken a lot of different things from different people.
You talked about Mark Edwards' leadership and Logan's leadership. How important, when you have such a young team, is it to have veterans and the right kind of veterans to sort of help those young guys?
Yeah, it's super important, right? You see what Chicago did with bringing in Foligno and Perry, and you need some of this is a hard league to play in. It's grown men, 82 games. It's a lot going on, travel, schedule, practice, day after games. So there's going to be some ups and downs throughout the season. To have guys that they can lean on is going to be important.
And what lessons did you learn from David Quinn these last 2 years that helped you prepare now for this role as a head coach?
Yeah, he's got great communication skills. Really good communicator. His relationships with players are really good. I don't think we ever lost the room. I don't think that was ever the issue. I think I learned a lot from him in tough times. Like this is, in all my coaching career, and it's not saying I'm the end all be all, but I've won and been winning situations. This is tough 2 years of me. In my situation, losing is not easy. So, it was good to lean on him and the rest of the staff. But he's a really good communicator. He's good getting his message across to the players in tough situations.
For you, a guy who ran the defense last year, we only got a glimpse of Shakir Muhammad. What's next for him, and what do you want to see from him kind of over the summer and then into the start of the season?
Well, I think his body is going to continue to develop, right? And, he came up and was really good. I thought he was really good at times with the Barracuda, and he's developing. It takes defensemen a long time to play this position. I had Gustav Forsling in Charlotte, and if you had told me, hey, in 6 years he was going to be for top two pair in Florida, I couldn't tell you that. Did I think he was going to be an NHLer? Yeah, but it takes defensemen a long time to learn this position. Henry Thrun's going to be a really good player. He's just going to have some going up through some ups and downs. We saw that this year, and he'll start figuring it out. And a lot of that comes from confidence. And it's up to me to give players confidence. You're the best player when you're confident, and you're the best bank teller when you're confident in what you're doing and you're handing out the money. So we need to be confident players, and it's up to me to put that confidence and instill that in them.
Mario Ferraro's talked.
Time for a few more minutes here.
Mario Ferraro's talked a lot about you and his connection, and obviously you've talked about that confidence in him and things like that. He, as long as he's been here, he hasn't played the playoffs. He's got that. He's a younger guy. What do you see from him to kind of find that form early in his career where he was looking like one of those bright stars of the league?
Yeah, I think Mario. I love him. He's got a great personality for our group. He's turned into a leader. He's been through a lot. This kid's been through a lot, and it goes back to the social media. He's lost for 4 years in a row. That's hard for us. These guys care deeply about winning hockey games, and when you don't win, you put in all this work, this strength training, the summer training, on the ice for practice, after practice, before practice, to prepare your body, and you continue to lose and don't get the results. That's hard mentally. Now we're talking about mental preparation and mentally getting over some battles. So I'm hoping this gives Mario a fresh start. I obviously worked with him closely for the last 2 years. I think the system changes that we'll make will help his game a little bit, and just getting understanding of who he is as a person a little bit clearer. But we're happy he's on our team. He had a really good stretch there, I thought, in the middle of the season. Got injured his ankle there in LA, and it probably set him back a little bit, but we're happy he's on our team.
You want to start having some conversations with Brian, Scott, Spearsy, Giuliani, those type of guys.
This week we'll start talking to all. I'll start talking to all those guys.
Do you want to bring these guys back, or is some change needed? Or
I'll talk to Mike and his staff of what how we want to progress, and go from there.
Spears, a guy that Mackenzie seemed to really take to. Is he a priority maybe, and sort of seeing where he's at and wants to come back?
Yeah, I think he'd be a priority to bring us back. I like Spears. He does a really good job with our goaltenders. I've talked to Blackie already. He likes him. I thought he did a great job when Kappa was here. I had Vitek when he was 18 years old, didn't speak any English in the ECHL in South Carolina. So I got a relationship with him, and I think they'll work really well together.
What do you expect out of Vitek this year? I mean, is he kind of healthy at this point and kind of ready to get?
Yeah, I think he's progressed through the summer, so he's healthy. I'm looking forward to working with him. I've talked to him already. I've known this kid for a long time. He came over and he spoke zero English, and he was a smile, happy-go-lucky kid. I think he's going to be a really good goaltender for us.
So Ryan, will this make you change your address now that you got the promotion?
Yes, I think we have a house here, but we'll see what happens here.
So Ryan, starting next season, the Sharks are the youngest team in a while. Do you think that sort of works to your advantage, or works right in your wheelhouse here?
I don't know. I'm going to focus on our team. I think we'll be a hungry team. I think this could be a bad taste in our mouth from what's happened these last few years. There'll be some change, which I think will help, but we got to start instilling a culture and a foundation on what we want a San Jose Shark to look like. You look at these teams that are winning. There's a reason why they're winning. You watch that Florida Panther. There's Florida Panther. There's an identity to that. We need to find that identity here.
And what are some of the challenges when you do work with the youngsters?
Just everyone's a little bit different, and we have to understand that. And everyone's taught differently and learns differently. But there'll be challenges throughout the way, and individually, collectively. That's just the nature of this business and what I signed up for.
You said you got a couple of coaching when you were a teenager. Can you kind of pinch yourself and look around and say, I'm a National Hockey League head coach right here?
Yeah, I mean, I remember clear as day, I was sitting in the Boston Bruins coaching office with Mike Sullivan, talking about, certain defensemen that I didn't like and he liked. And I told him I wanted to get into coaching. He told me don't even think about it. I think it was after we got fired in Boston. But he's been a good sounding board for me, and that was probably the first moment I'm like, I love this. This is what it's all about. The preparation, the meetings. He's been great for me.
How did that come about?
I was maybe a little bit younger. I don't even. Was it maybe 16? He started. I think I was 17 when he was in Providence. I think it was 18, somewhere around there, 16, 18.
So how did you get to know him?
So his parents and my godparents. So he's from the same town as me. I lost my nana at a young age, and his mom kind of was my nana, kind of growing up in a way. And I know he texted me that Mert and Jidge, they've passed, and they'd be smiling right now because they'd be very proud.
Talk to David. Just texted all.
Yeah. Talked to David quite a bit. Again, we're still good friends. He was really happy for me. Again, he's a great man. He's a good coach. This was a really tough situation. The injuries, where we are as an organization, this isn't pinpointed on David Quinn whatsoever.
Hi, it's Sharks public address announcer Danny Miller for Bay Area Sports Wrap. Remember to give us a like and subscribe on our YouTube channel.